Hey guys, welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I am your host, BitBoy. Today, we are going to be talking about an absolutely huge update from Cardano that could change the entire direction of the project. But before we go any further, make sure you are a subscriber to our channel. All you got to do to become a member of the Bit Squad, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and boom, just like that, you're in the Bit Squad. We'd love for you to drop a comment below and a like on this video because we want to engage with you. But if you do, you also have the chance to win $500 worth of Ethereum and merch for October and November. So make sure you do that on all of our videos during those months for the maximum number of entries. Also, guys, just one more time, dropping you guys a reminder, sign up for our NIFFLER competition. It's a trading sandbox where you can practice trading. If you do that and we get 150 signups, then we're going to do a contest, give away $100 in crypto of your choice, along with a ledger and also some NIFFLER merch. Okay, guys. So let's get into this. I wanted to do a standalone update on this story because we did a standalone update on the last on Cardano a couple weeks ago when this whole saga started unfolding. And I didn't think it was really fair to put this in a news video with a bunch of other stories because I feel like this is absolutely huge news. Okay, so to understand this update, you got to understand the configuration of Cardano. You have Ken Kadama, who is the CEO of Emergo. Emergo is one of the three companies involved in this project. They're on the business relationship side. Then you have Charles Hoskinson, who is the CEO of IOHK, which is the technical part of the project that is actually working on developing Cardano. Then, of course, you have the Cardano Foundation. Now, Michael Parsons was the CEO of the Cardano Foundation. Several weeks ago, Charles Hoskinson and Ken Kadama put out a letter stating why they wanted Michael Parsons to resign. There are all kinds of reasons stemming from possible mismanagement of funds to lack of marketing to actually almost centralizing the Cardano Foundation. Michael Parsons was supposed to go find a bunch more members for I guess their board or whatever their leadership council is for the Cardano Foundation. And instead of finding more members, he had actually dwindled it all the way down to 2, which meant he had 50% of the decision-making powers. I'm not sure who the other person is. It might actually be the person who's now replacing him, but we'll get to that in just a second. But this was big news because it seemed like Cardano was at odds with itself. And because the way they set this up was in a decentralized fashion, Charles Hoskinson and Ken Kadama could not actually force Michael Parsons out of a job. They could not by themselves remove the Cardano Foundation. The only way they could do it was to appeal to the community, and then for the community to appeal to Michael Parsons to where he just decided to resign. Now, what impact has this had? Well, I've theorized that, and I've heard other people also, I'm not the only person who said this, but in the same way that Gemini postponed its Bitcoin Cash listing due to the fact that there was rumors of a fork that we know is actually coming now. I believe that Coinbase could have possibly been postponing the Cardano listing due to all of the turmoil within the organizations involved with Cardano. So now, as we'll get into this story, this may actually be resolved. This could be great news for Cardano and its timeline on getting on Coinbase and really just furthering the project. One of the big beefs that was with the Cardano Foundation was the lack of marketing and the lack of getting the word out about Cardano. So maybe that problem will also be solved, which will lead to Cardano being more out there in the public to where more people know what's going on with it and they can build the hype and the excitement. As we know in cryptocurrency, hype is very important. So here we are on this article. This was just released a couple hours ago. Cardano Foundation CEO Michael Parsons resigns after the public criticism from IOHK and Emergo. So absolutely big news. Here it is. The Cardano Foundation today announced that Michael Parsons, chairman of the Foundation Council of the Cardano Foundation, has resigned with immediate effect. Pascal Schmid, council member, so I assume he was the only other member on the council, will take over as chairman of the Foundation Council on an interim basis. Cardano Foundation was run by Michael Parsons, and he was apparently, I love this sentence. This is very interesting. Cardano Foundation was run by Michael Parsons, and he was apparently not doing it too good, according to Charles Hoskinson and Ken Kodama. Now, unfortunately, we don't really have we don't really have a lot of other information about what this is going to look like. I think if I were to tell you what I think is going to happen, I think that the Cardano Foundation is going to become dissolved, and IOHK and Emergo will take on all the responsibilities. There are also rumors, and I think maybe Charles Hoskinson said this in the past, that if this is the way that they go, that they would take the Cardano Foundation employees and move them over to one of their other companies. So this might actually happen. And I think if they remove the Cardano Foundation completely and they take on the roles that the foundation was supposed to do, that might actually be better, especially if they're pulling over the employees, because Ken Kodama and Charles Hoskinson obviously know the way that they want it ran already, and instead of finding somebody to fit that spot, it'd probably be better for them to just team up and figure out a way to get those things done with the employees that they have. But I think this is absolutely huge news. This could totally change the course of Cardano, and that was what Charles Hoskinson wanted when he wrote that letter along with Ken Kodama. Of course, Charles Hoskinson is the biggest name involved in all this this whole situation, who has the most reach, and everything he said about this has been very public. So this hopefully will close one chapter, a messy, ugly chapter in the Cardano story, and we look forward to seeing what this project is going to do. As we know, the timeline and the roadmap of Cardano is fairly slow when it comes to the technology and the development and where it's going. The roadmap is slow. It's not going to be a quick project. It won't be done by the end of this year. I actually think 2020 is probably when we're going to see Cardano come to fruition, and people are going to be able to start using it and things like that, and it'll get the biggest gains. I think in 2019, who really knows what will happen? If any projects go up at all, maybe Cardano does. Maybe it falls in CoinMarketCap as far as the ranking goes. But I think ultimately, no matter what happens in the short term, I think this is the best step for Cardano. So I'm really glad that Michael Parsons listened, did not make this a super messy debate, a super messy debacle, if you will, that could have really hurt Cardano, maybe even in the long term. So good for him, even though he didn't do his job, good for him for stepping down and resigning. That's the way decentralization is supposed to work. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you guys think this means for Cardano and its future. And until next time, BitBoy out.